Gopish. Comrade Gopish, General Secretary of Lakshmi Vilas Bank Officer Association, will honor Comrade K. Ananda Kumar, who is the chairman of, ex officio chairman of the negotiating committee. Sir, break is over as per directions of the President now.
Respected leaders on the dais, and as Rana Franca told that he has been involving himself right from the beginning in designing the charter demands. Of course, whenever doubt arises, the person who got into that to clear the doubts of not only the IBOC, entire UOBU, at times IBA too, Mr. Ananda Kumar. And I wanted to use a word, architect of this wage revision, but inside I got a fear also, how people will be responding and reacting to that. So I was reserving that word. Anyway, he was the person did all those things today. Today, majority of the officers community in this banking sector, we are reasonably got a satisfaction. It is only because of Ananda Kumar's rule. As Mr. Franco told that, all the good things have happened from Chennai, but unfortunately bad things also happened from Chennai only. Any issue or any episode, always there will be a hero, but a villain too. But Chennai has got the distinction of having both the hero and the villain. Hero is Ananda Kumar, villain you all know that. That's what happened in the wage revision plans. As he was telling that, yes, mixed reactions. Right from the signing ceremony till today, I have been observing the reaction from the various people, of course. Lot of reactions, mixed reaction I should say that, from the facial reading. Even the people who were sitting inside the signing room also, there were mixture of reactions. Of course, all were leaders. Some leaders were having a sigh of relief. Some leaders were expressing, okay, some leaders were expressing a shock that when I am reaching home, what kind of message I am going to get in WhatsApp or your social site. This was the reaction. And when we came out yesterday, I had an opportunity to address our Bangalore guys. There also members were having different reactions. As he was telling that we cannot satisfy all mixed reaction. But one thing I can tell you very solidly, but for the IBOC, we would not have got 15%. It would have been signed at only 11%, because I was witnessing when one leader has told here, when all the other leaders of the negotiating team were wondering, this is what my members' expectation, this is what my members' aspiration, how I will try to fulfill the members' needs. This was the presentation of almost all the leaders. But only one leader has told invariably in every meeting, I have got a mandate for anything. Even for 9% I am ready to sign. It is not only that leader told, even the IBA told that, look man, he is a very good person yaar. He was ready to sign for anything. It is only because of the IBOC this has been extended to this level. Do something. Our chairman Mr. Dubey, he was part of the negotiating team of the management. And one day he called, and actually in one of the negotiating meeting, he fired our people. Then Ananda Kumarji told that you control your chairman yaar. Then I arranged a meeting with our chairman. Because we are all straightforward people. We never try to go through the back door. We never. But at that time, just to know the feeling of the IBA, through our chairman, because always he is an accessible person, a good man. Had he been there and continued, we would have got a better deal also. But anyway, so I made a meeting for Anand Kumarji and Arvinder and myself. We three went to Bangalore to our head office to meet our chairman. When we were entering, he was telling, oh yes, Sardaji, he is the culprit man. He was telling that. We were shocked. Sir, what is the word you are using, sir? No, I didn't mean in that way. This is what IBA is feeling. Only because of the IBOK, every time the IBA has to increase the percentage, otherwise you would have been settled long back, this much time would not have taken. This was told by him, none other than the part of the negotiating team. So friends, take it from us. Only because of the IBOK, today we got 15% increase. Everybody is enjoying that. Only because of the IBOK, we got the 2 days holidays. Otherwise, in the same Chennai city, the other leader when he was addressing, this 2 days holidays is not my cup of tea. Regulatory working hours is not my cup of tea. Why should I fight? I got a different role to play. Immediately our all boys, they plunged into action. So many messages were sent to that leader. How can you say like that? He has to withdraw and he has to issue a circular also. No, still I am supporting 5 days week. He has to sell that. So this 5-day week also nobody can own or take the credit. It is only because of the IBOK we got this benefit also. So even if you are having a mixed feelings or reaction where I got a good at the end of the day, good result or not, the whatever we got, it is only because of the IBOK. Otherwise it would have been a worst thing. Even this medical insurance scheme. Medical insurance scheme we have been thoroughly discussing every time, whether it is good for us, whether it is going to bring a better benefits than the existing benefit. And even I was criticizing also many times. Sir, it is going to a kind of disaster to the officers. But now I am reading that in the end of this medical scheme, a good word has been written, which was, while reimbursement to the officers and employees shall be made by the banks as hitherto, the scheme shall be administered by the banks through a scheme which worked on between IB and banks and insurance companies, and officer employees would be in no way be directly bound by the terms and conditions of such schemes or arrangements, because existing scheme will be continuing. No way that the arrangements what IB is having with the insurance company will come in the way of existing benefits what we are getting. This statement also only because of the IBOK. Otherwise I was part of the discussion when we were all wondering that how to increase the monetary benefits for the officers. Friend, I have a strong feeling. For getting the non-monetary benefit, why should we wait for 5 years? For getting the monetary benefits, no doubt. Once in 5 years only it has to be. For getting non-monetary benefits, whenever we feel that it should come, we should be ready for fighting. But that leader was telling that when we were all wondering how much increase should be there, how much to be given, whether 20% or 25% or 15%, all these things. He made a statement, all the percentage leave man, we will discuss about the medical insurance scheme. This was the discussion. Friends, fortunately, the IBOK stood strong. IBOK stood strong. I am appreciating our Prof. Franco's statement, his personal statement that we should continue in UAPU. Yes, but the UAPU partners also should feel that they should be in UAPU, all partners are same. Why always we should feel that? In the days to come, this industry is going to be the officer-dominated industry. It is no longer is the clerical-dominated industry. So unfortunately, today we were getting lesser salary because not only the management, we also feel that we are slaves. I come as a clerk. Clerks were treated as slaves. The slavery mindset even today is there in the minds of the people. It should go because as per the system, 89% of the officers they were promoted from the clerks only. For the 10 years, 15 years, they were treated like that only. Clerks were taken with the matriculate qualification. Today this IB is looking at you with a matriculate qualified officer. It is no longer. Today we are getting officers with B.Tech, M.Tech, MBA, MS. It is a management must use them and use their knowledge. So friends, the change in the circumstance of core banking solution, where is the question of keeping them as a matriculate clerk and giving the right to the clerical organization to fix the salary for us? No longer it should be. And okay, whatever has come, it's all right. But today we must take a decision. Whether you are continuing in UB or not, next wage revision it should be at the direction of the officers organization only. Employees organization cannot have any say in that. In case that being in UBU, we have to succumb to the pressure of the employees union, friends, let us come out also. It should be our idea, because being in the organization should not come in the way of bringing the benefits for the officers. It cannot be permitted. Friends, today you all know that every bank is having a vision. 85% of my transactions are going to be personalized, non-personalized transaction. Everybody is going through the digitalization. SBOA has had a deal with the Snap deal. We don't know what kind of business they are going to do that. When that being the case, footfalls are going to be reduced in the bank. That is going to be the vision of the bank. Why are clerks? Why you want clerks in the branch? Whatever job clerks are doing, today machine is doing that. We need a cashier. Yes, we will recruit a clerk. Today, that cash remittance, some machine has come. Cash accepting machine has come. Dispensation machine has come. 85% of the transactions are going to be digitalized transaction, non-personalized transaction. Nobody is expected to come into the branch. Why you want a clerk? Now only we want supervisors. That is so the recruitment pattern also there. Friends, at today's circumstances of the CBS implementation, the banks can run without the clerks, but without the officer, banking sector cannot run even for a day. When that being our strength, that being our position, why the hell we should look at them? What kind of salary they are giving? My salary should be related to them. No. Our salary should be always independently fixed, because my nature of job is different, their nature of job is different. I must get the salary, other benefits totally related to the risk and responsibility what an officer is facing, not related to the clerical salary in the name of relativity, what was going on even today. Till today again, if you are going that, no sir, clerical organization, clerks are getting this much. Where is the question there? The relativity concept to go at least in the 2017. It should go, because industry is going to be dominated with officers. Not only wages. I am not going to discuss about the intricacies or nitty-gritty of all the settlement, because our architect is here now. But the industry is facing a very tough time today. Whether we are going to be there as an industry, what we have seen so far, it is a big doubt. Friends, normally we used to say that when 1990 liberalization policy comes, we used to imagine after 10 years banking sector will be like this, nationalized banking sector will be like this. All imagination we used to do that, but no imagination. Today in another 3 months or maximum up to December, payment banks are going to be in the system. When the other privatized banks were introduced, they have introduced some of the banks to do the banking business, and those fellows are intelligent people. ICICI Bank, IDBI Bank, Axis Bank, whatever it is, they were doing all kinds of banking activities. They never tried to come out of the potential centers. This is the reason that they were maintaining 30% of the market share. It is not that because of efficiency we were maintaining 70% of the market share. They were not ready to come, because they were doing all kinds of business activities of the bank. But today, just see what is the policy of the bank government. The government is going to give it to some banker a particular portfolio for doing, to be done by them. If they are going to introduce the payment banks with 100 crores capital, government says that we don't have any restriction on the number. Any number of people you open the bank. And those banks are going to take care of all the rural banks activities what we are now doing through our FI branches, through FPCs. They are going to do that. We nationalized banks, we are having a problem of even connectivity even today. But the payment banks are going to work under 3G, 4G connectivity, only cash transactions. When you are telling regulated working hours, these people are going to work for 24 hours, because only cash transaction. No? And 1 lakh rupees up to 1 lakh they can take deposits. whatever little cost our nationalized banks are getting to rural sector, it is not going to be with us if you are not properly putting our competition with the payment banks. Small banks with only 500 crores. Whatever your rural branches or semi-rural branches were doing that, their job is going to be taken by the small banks. Not long ago, in another 3 months. So what we are going to do with our so many number of rural branches? Prime Minister has told that you open Jan Dhan Yojana accounts. When he told only 7.5 crore accounts, as usual the nationalized banking sector or Indian bank offices, we did 11.5 crores accounts. Don't clap. We did all 11.5 crores accounts. But Guinness record Modi ke mil gaya. Guinness immediately somebody went that they got a certificate from the Guinness. This has gone to only Prime Minister. He has never passed on any kind of benefit to us. Nothing. Whether he said that this person they have done that, whether he passed on any benefit to us, no. So now nationalized banking sector, including our okay, other private banks also, we have opened 11.5 crores account mainly to the rural branches. When payment banks or small banks are going to be in existence in rural and semi-urban, what you are going to do with these 11.5 crores accounts? What is the job? Government says wherever transactions or satisfactory transactions are there, there you give insurance and all. All are zero balance accounts. Where is the question of satisfactory transaction in these accounts? And when these banks are going to be in the force, we don't have any job to do. This is going to come, friends, in another 3 months. How we are going to face it, we don't know about it. The government policy, you see that. They already started reducing the government's holding to 52%. It is started. Even recently, our bank has sold the 4 crore shares to the LIC. Their idea is, the shareholding, when they are reducing it to 52, they are not going to come to the public. They are going to sell these shares to the public sector units. They are going to. Perhaps Canara Bank may be buying the Indian Overseas Bank shares, Indian Overseas Bank may be buying the Indian Bank shares. What is the use, man? I don't understand that. But anyway, it is started. Now with a huge percentage of the shares in the bank, LIC may be nominating a person in the board of Canara Bank. My director will be there. We may have to negotiate for any benefits with the LIC management. You don't know, that person will be sitting in the bank. It is going to happen. How we are going to oppose it? That we will have to decide immediately. The government policy of infusing capital, you see that. So far, we all know that the only weakling will get the assistance from the parents. This is what the agreed principle on in any place. All the banks which were having a problem of capital, in executing the government's programs, the government was infusing the capital to such banks. So none of the nationalized banks, they expected that one day I will not be in existence. No bank has got any problems. When we joined in the bank, when somebody asked our senior juniors, sir, our bank will be there. We were solidly telling that yes, Canara Bank will be there, UOB will be there, Indian Bank will be there. Friends, you tell me, all of you, touch your heart. Some of your juniors are coming and asking you, sir, in another 5 years your bank will be there, sir. Can you say no? Where government policy is like that. Now they have decided to infuse the capital wherever the return on equity and return on assets more than the average in the industry. It means what? Only performing banks will get the capital. Then what will happen to the weak banks who are lesser than the ROE and ROA? What they will do that? What United Bank will do? What UCO Bank will do? What Allahabad Bank will do? What Punjab and Sindh Bank will do? Whether government is going to allow them to have a natural death? Who will be able to take over those banks? With which bank they are going to be merged? Friends, I clearly told in this Pune meeting, Jan Sangam. They told that. All the nationalized bank chairperson told that. They told that we will not be privatized. But no CMD has told that I am in the position of take over other bank. Because already his bank is sinking. He is unable to build up his capital. Where is the question of annexing other bank? So even the other banks, because of non-fitness of the capital, the nationalized banks are sinking. No nationalized bank is not in the position to take over or annex those banks. What is going to happen? These are all the biggest question in front of us, by the immediately. What is immediate? 2017 we all must unite together to fight against this, fight for the big increase. But till then, whether we are going to be there in the system and we have to fight against the government ill understood policies, otherwise it is going to be a very tough job. Friends, I am fully respecting the views of our Francoji. Yes, but it could be there only for the getting benefits at the wage revision. But if you want to survive as the industry in the bank, when the bank is going to be the officers oriented bank, it is only IBO who has to fight. Nobody will be supporting you. So at least for that sake, let us be united. We are all, one of the biggest problem is, because of the 2000 decision of SVRS, a biggest age by age difference is there. We have got more than 50% young boys and girls. We are having this, every bank must be having the same thing. And in another 4 or 5 years, these persons are only going to be in the bank. We are all retiring, maximum 5 years. We are having our seniors to guide us even today. But the boys who have joined very recently, in another 5 years, their maximum age will be 32 years. The maximum exposure in the banking only will be maximum 6 to 7 years. And they are not having anybody in the system to guide them also. How this industry is going to survive. Perhaps these all will be an important problem for us. We must work on that. Another is the new pension scheme. New pension scheme already the government sector and railways, they all announced now. They already submitted their charter demand to the government. That new pension scheme should be scrapped. The original new pension scheme should be there. And they told that before December it is not being done. Before November, they are going to stage a all India strike. They are going to do that. Now it is the right time for the banks also must join with that. It should be our immediate demand. Let us not wait. Let us not wait. Wage revision is over. We will wait up to 2017, November 2017. No, we cannot. Now the immediate requirement for safeguarding our youngster who join in the bank 50%, and whose number is going to be 100% in another 5 years, who are going to be the pillars of this banking institution, our next immediate step should be joining with the other fighting forces who are fighting against the NPS. We have to do that. So friends, yes, we got it. We are going to get the arrears. All those things are there. Let us join towards officers organization to fight against all these causes, and we will emerge as a solid force. It is not that IBOC should feel that I should be part of the UABU. Our strength should be multiplied in such a way that all the other organizations should think that IBOC should be with me. That should be the posture we have to give it in the days to come, and I am sure the way in which you have gathered here, the confidence and the involvement you are showing in the trade union activities, days are not far off. IBOC only will be deciding the bank officers' interest in this country, not only the bank officers' welfare, even the bank's welfare we are only going to decide. Thank you very much, friends, all the best.
Thank you very much, Comrade Manimaran. Yes, it is true that if not for AABOC, we would not have got this percentage of increase. Though it is 15% increase, if you would have seen the statement of Mr. T.M. Vasin, the chairman of IBA and chairman Indian Bank, the total cost, he says that it is 8,300 if we take the superannuation cost also, and then if you calculate it is almost coming to 30%. I also agree that the officers have to lead. AABOC has to become stronger. And today we have got a better settlement. Today you see the comparison. The clerical staff, the starting basic is 11,765 and the maximum is 31,470. Whereas our starting is 23,700 and the maximum is 85,000. And today we can proudly say that as on today our salary, starting salary is better than an IAS officer. For an IAS officer, today starting salary is only 21,500 including the grade pay, whereas ours is 23,700. But then seventh pay commission is going to come, again disparity will come, we will have to keep fighting, and that fighting has to continue. Comrade Manimaran was talking about Snapdeal, not only Snapdeal, again PayPal also State Bank has gone into agreement. Few days back somebody had sent a WhatsApp message. One lady, she has filed a petition in the court asking for a divorce, saying that this man cheated me, saying that he is a banker, and believing that I got married, he is not a banker. So that person, the judge is asking, how do you say he is not a banker? He says that, sir, last 1 week he was not coming home. Only in the middle of the night he was coming, and when I asked, he says I was in the village conducting survey. Then the judge asked, is it so? Yes, sir. It is for the account opening we had to do, who are all not having account under the Jankan, I was doing a survey. Then she said, sir, he said he is a banker, but he keeps on going around and asking for insurance policies. Then this man asked judge again, yes, is it so? Yes, we have an insurance scheme which we have to canvass, so I am doing that. Then the judge told, it seems that, I am sure, madam, he must be a banker because he always says, yes sir, yes sir. So tomorrow it will not be new. So if we are asked that Snapdeal or PayPal, they say that you have to deliver vegetables. So banker will go and deliver vegetables, that also can come. But for all this we have to be prepared. Today we need intellectual leadership. We should understand what is happening in the digital network, what changes are taking place, how to cope up. Yes, today we have that advantage in the rural area, which he was highlighting. Once payment bank and small bank comes, they will become competitor to you. Mudra is going to be a competitor to you. Then that advantage also you are going to lose. Today you don't have any competition in the rural area, semi-urban area. So all that we should also envision, and we have to prepare ourselves. And I am sure IBOC as a matured organization, a strong organization, will educate the membership, and the members are always there with the organization. Recently in the meeting, one of our past leaders mentioned that members are always with you. It is the responsibility of the leaders to lead, and that way we have a comrade who is a leader who led us in this wage negotiation, Comrade Ananda Kumar, starting from the preparation of the Charter of Demand, giving all inputs. At one point of time, even within the IBOC negotiating committee, we were feeling frustrated that the percentage of increase is not going up, and award staff were not keen on 5-day banking. Even Mr. M.B. Murali, the convener, was saying that it is not our agenda, though it was there in their Charter of Dam. But as chairman of the negotiating committee, Comrade Ananda Kumar did so much of homework. He is a chartered accountant by qualification. So he did all that analysis and presented to the negotiating committee what structure we should bring in. And he also said that this time, much before the settlement took place, he told, in this time, the settlement, we are going to get more of allowances than of more basic. That is what it is moving towards. He could foresee things, and wherever mistakes were there, he will go into the details. The calculation, where IBA had gone wrong, he pointed out. Me and Comrade Ananda Kumar went and met Comrade Venkatachalam in his office. We had almost 2.5 hours of discussion. We told him that your calculation is wrong. When you say that 12.5% will be equal to 17.5%, it cannot be. He proved it with facts and figures, and CHV had to accept. So that kind of an input he could give, because of which today we could get a better basic pay than what was proposed by the IBA. We could get this special allowance with DA, which they were not willing to consider so much. The initial offer and the present one, there are tremendous changes which he will explain and we will learn from him. We have to understand the intricacies from him so that in the future wage revision, he will not be there in the 2017 wage revision. But we should equip ourselves and with that we can face the next wage revision. So I request Comrade Anandakumar, rightly mentioned as architect of this wage revision, to address you.
I don't know when I go back, I will go back safely because I have been given so much of hype that I am the architect, I did these things, that things. Anyhow, comrades, it is my duty to explain the entire government of this bipartite joint note, which we ultimately signed yesterday at 11 o'clock in IB office. Comrade Franco, President of State IBOC, Comrade Vijay Senans, State Secretary, leaders on the dais and off the dais, my dear militant comrades of AIBOC. First, let's salute to all of you. Why I am telling you is, comrade, in almost all the agitations, the presence of the AIBOC members are more in number than any other members. We are witness to it. I think you can clap more. We are witness to it. Yesterday I addressed a mammoth meeting at Mumbai. I was asked to stay back. Officers of Indian Overseas Bank. We were not able to get a hall. Subsequently we could manage a small, in a branch where there is a large, huge customer space. I explained to him in detail. Today I thought that I must share my thoughts to one and all. There were frequently asked questions. I will start from that. With regard to 2 days holidays, there were frequently asked questions with regard to arrears, when we are going to get arrears. That too, a press statement has come today from Chairman of IBA that it will take 4 to 6 months. Right from morning, wake up call is, one of the member woke me up, sir, what is this? It came in the press. And also they said that for hours of it is going to be paid immediately, for officers it is going to take 4 to 6 months. I agree with Comrade Franco and Comrade Manimaran. Comrade, if at all we got this 15%, maybe it is a repetition which I am going to make. It is only because of AIBOC. It is only because of AIBOC. In today's press, when I was reading, they mentioned that IB offered 9%. All of you know IB offered only 5%. Only 5%. We went on agitation and it was improved by 0.5%. We withdrew that agitation, subsequent agitation. It is not 9%. Never IB offered. The initial offer was only 5%. The most frequently asked question, and also we were in dilemma whether to sign the joint note, because we were expecting these 2 Saturdays off, 2nd and 4th Saturday from April 11th and 24th. We were discussing amongst us, if we sign the settlement, if they go back, what will happen? I said promptly, we have to go back on our understanding. As simple as that. Then one of the negotiating committee meeting, I was present inside, because we wanted to decide what to write in joint note which will bind IBA and the government to keep these 2 Saturdays off. In the meantime, members used to ask me, sir, these 2 Saturdays off is prospective or retrospective? Comrade, there is no retrospective because we already worked. So whether any compensation will be given, compensation package is 2,455 crores. Beyond that, nothing can be done. The first question he put to the chairman of negotiating committee with regard to these 2 days off. We got the reply, a solemn assurance from him. He said that IBA went with a proposal of 5 days banking. I agree with Comrade Manimal and Comrade Franco. We were pursuing this 5 days banking because members were keen to get 2 days holiday, then the percentage increase. Because they wanted rest and recuperation, because we have so much bogged down with work, with the computers, the CBS and other things. He gave a very clear clarity on this. He said, we have taken up the proposal of 5 days banking to Finance Minister, the present Finance Minister. He was not in agreement with 5 days proposal. Alternatively, we have suggested 2 Saturdays, 2nd and 4th Saturdays off. He said, I am very comfortable with that. Then it seems they asked him, sir, can we sign an MOU on 23rd February with this clause? He said, go ahead, government will clear. This is the first step. After that, only they have signed an MOU. We feel that there should not be any hurdle from the government side. But still, we don't know. But Finance Minister has given a commitment and it will be honored. Then why the delay? The delay is because of the new generation private sector banks. They wanted to work on Saturdays and Sunday, 2 Saturdays, not Sunday, Saturdays, 2 Saturdays. They went to RBI, they said that we are going to open bank branches on those 2 Saturdays. To take a to have a competitive edge, to corner the business of public sector bank. RBI was very, very clear that they have entered into an agreement. It is not the decision of the negotiating committee. It is not the decision taken between IBA and the negotiating committee. It is also a decision of management committee of IBA. Management committee consists of all chairmen. We will not go back on that. Then they wanted to limit a transaction. They said, no, you cannot open bank branches for public. If you want, you can do non-banking. Inside the branch, you do whatever you want to do. Then they got convinced and they went back. Then there is a process. They have to write to all the RRBs. The sponsored bank gave a commitment that they will also close on those 2 Saturdays. Innumerable number of cooperative banks, they got a commitment from their federation also that these 2 days they will observe holidays. After that, it took so much of time. After that, last week, RBI has given in principle clearance for those 2 Saturdays off. It has gone to ministry and IBA is pursuing with the ministry to get it clear. After giving a solemn assurance, we thought that we must accept the views and sign the joint note with the proper wording. They are given a wording in the joint note. You also will go through. IBA has already issued a circular. IBA will pursue with the RBI and the government for these 2 days off, and after issuing the notification, this will come into force. Then, comrades, today a statement that arrears will not be paid. For our staff, once the settlement is signed, it is operative from the time it is signed. For officers, it has to be officer service regulation has to be amended. Even the 9th perpetual service regulation yet to be amended, we are getting only by way of adopt. IBA has conveyed to us. Before signing the settlement, we asked him how long it would take. Even after signing the settlement, we went and talked to IBA officials, how long it would take. They said that maximum, we will try to get the clearance from the government. And June salary will be the revised salary. If by chance you are not able to get the clearance, it may go to July salary, not beyond that. Today we saw, I was shocked. Then I checked with the Secretary General, Mr. Rajendran. He is from Indian Bank. I asked him, is there any news from your chairman? He said that all of them went and represented to chairman to know what has really went wrong. He said that, Mr. Basin said that he has been misquoted by the press. I never said it, but it has been misquoted by the press. Probably I don't know whether any corrections will come tomorrow. They are trying for a correction, probably from the chairman's desk. Otherwise, corporations, be rest assured, arrears will be paid, new salary will be effective, hopefully from June. Otherwise, it will be from July. Beyond that, I don't think it will go. Yes, comrades, there is lots and lots of doubts. Lots and lots of things whether this 15% is good enough for us. Because we have given a charter demand asking for a 30% increase, then came down to 25%, then to 23%, then we got stuck at 19.5%. Then came up to, then signed for 15%. Comrade, I will tell you, when Gyan Sangh was there, Chairman of State Bank of India, Chairperson of State Bank of India, has issued a press statement. It came that officers are poorly paid. Many of you might have read, I also read it. Mr. Harvinder Singh, General Secretary of IBOC, he wrote an appreciation letter to Chairperson, Madam, you rightly understood that officers were poorly paid. The two, on the previous day, when Mr. Modi was to address all chairmen, the timing of your statement is also very perfect, because we are fighting for increase in salary revision, wage revision, and he used all adjectives and appreciated Chairperson. And he has marked a copy of this letter to Mr. Basin, Chairman of the IBA, the negotiating committee chairman Mr. Rajiv Rishi, and all the negotiating committee members. The moment Mr. Basin saw this letter, he was going mad. He asked Chairperson, how come you make such an irresponsible statement? The two, we are in the middle of the agitation. Because we have to go on, first 7th was 1-day strike we have to observe. Then we have to observe for 4-day strike. And then indefinite strike. That was the first notice we issued in the month of December. You know, comrade, what Madam said? Yes, I made a statement, but press has misquoted my statement. I said that I only said that the salaries of EDs and chairmen were poorly paid when compared to the private sector bank, not with regard to the officers. She has said it. And same chairperson said, State Bank cannot pay more than 10%. Is it not, Franco? She said it. Of course, the same chairperson went and argued for 15%. That is another matter. IBA played a lot of games. They withdrew the mandate. It created a confusion in the minds of the bank. They said that you have to revisit the mandate. Never it happened in the past. It created a confusion in almost all the banks, and it created confusion more in the private sector banks. Comrade, 11% offer which was given, and we got stuck in 11% offer for more than 1.5 years. More than 1.5 years. I happened to be there in Central Labour Commissioners meeting, reconciliation proceedings on January 4th at Delhi, in presence of Chief Labour Commissioner. It was a very serious meeting. From IBA said Mr. Tangsali and Mr. Unikrishan, both of them have come. All the leaders of UOB also we were present. The Chief Labour Commissioner made a statement, how long I will listen 11%? It cannot be tolerated, it cannot be accepted. Please call the associations and unions for a discussion and go beyond 11% and settle the issue. And I don't want to give a closure report. And he directed IBA to call for negotiation committee meeting. Next day, 5th, Evening 4 o'clock, a negotiating committee meeting was convened, and from 11% they went up to 12.5%. We are not happy about it. We are not happy about it. The strike was withdrawn in the last minute. I don't want to go into the details. Because they said that 7th January strike was withdrawn because they said that they will not reopen the mandate. Whatever mandate given is old school. But again, we issued a strike notice to go on strike in the month of February, 4 days, which will have the effect of closing down the banks for 6 days. And also reiterated the indefinite strike on March 16th. On 23rd, they convened a negotiating committee meeting. Comrade Harvinder asked me what should be the strategy. I said, sir, please don't talk of percentage. You only talk of quantum. I conveyed him, sir, please ask for 6,147 crores. That is the amount which we got. That is the amount which is equivalent to the last wage revision. They started discussing on quantum. IPA jumped from 3,665 crores to 4,500 crores. It was up to 14.28%. We are not happy about it. There is a lot of persuasion with the support of State Bank chairperson, Bank of India chairperson, because that day many management committee consists of chairmen are present. They said that we will talk to IBA chairman. They went and talked to IBA chairman, and IBA chairman has agreed to increase it to 15%, and MOU was drawn. The 2% load, which they were discussing on many times, suddenly it was found place in the MOU that it will be, basic pay will be loaded by 2% with a monetary cap of 597 crores. IBOC took a position that they will not sign an MOU with 2% load. By the time, out of 9 UOP constituents, 4 UOP constituents are already signed. Finally, it was tested on IBOC. Then IBOC signed it reluctantly with an assurance that you must give another allowance, a new allowance. That allowance should attract DA. They gave a solemn assurance that it will be given as an allowance which will attract DA, and finally the MOU was signed. Comrade, with 2% load, with 590 to the basic pay and DA, and 597 crores for the industry, of which IBOC officers of research share is around 314 crores. We are not able to construct any pay scale, worthwhile pay scale. We were breaking our head. People used to ask, Mr. Maiman asked me, what is going to be the scale? You tell me what is the scale. How this 2% is going to be loaded? It is not 2% on basic pay alone, it is 2% on basic pay and DA. We are not able to draw the scales. 23,222 is with the merger, at the merger point. We are breaking our head. I was just going through the MOU. I have found out a catch in that MOU, which says that after merger point of 4,440 points or at 60.1%, the DA will be merged with the basic pay. And the new scales will be drawn as on 31st March 2012 with a load of 2%, amounting to around 597 crores. I immediately started constructing pay scale as on 31st March. If I start constructing pay scales, it gives a better pay scales. I will tell you, I don't want to go into nitty-gritty. The DA as on March was 10.9%, 1.9%, 1.90% after merger. The DA as on November was 10.90%. If you construct pay scale as on November, we have to add more towards DA. Out of 314 crores, more than 110 crores, 108 crores are going towards DA. Only 200 crores comes towards basic pay. With 200 crores with basic pay, the loaded to the basic pay is only 1.28% or 1.3%. Rest is going towards DA. If you load it as of March, we we could able to load at 1.90% to basic pay, as high as 1.95%. One day evening we went and sat with IB officials after the negotiating committee meeting. I explained to IB officials, sir, we want you to honor your MOU. MOU says that you have to construct scales as of 31st March 2012. They said, no, as per the past practice, always it should be 1/11/2012, as 1st November 2012, or 1st November every settlement. Then I told him, this is hitting us, and you cannot construct a pay scale, nor I can construct a pay scale. You have to go for 31st March. Then they asked me, what is the hitch in that? I conveyed to him. Comrade, you won't believe, IB has gone mad that day. They took more time to give the pay scales, to construct the pay scales. Finally, when they gave the pay scales, they loaded entire 313 crores towards basic pay. That means they loaded almost 2% towards almost 1.9% at the starting level of basic pay. And the starting basic pay was 23,630 rupees was the scales they offered to us. We are not happy about the scales. We wanted to know how the scales were done for our staff. They have shown the scales. We said that we have found out that for our staff 2% exclusively on basic pay was loaded right from the first stage to the last stage, 2%. For officers, they have loaded 1.90% at starting level, and it comes down at every level up to scale 3. From scale 4 onwards it goes up, but N level it was somewhere around 3.98%. We said that we will not accept this particular thing. 2% you should load. When you loaded 2% for our staff, you should load 2% for officers also in basic pay. They said that yes, we will try to rework the scales. When they are trying to rework the scales, it goes beyond 313 crores. IBA said that 313 crores is sacrosanct. This is your share for loading to basic pay and DA. This 313 crores I have loaded only to basic pay. So I cannot go beyond this. This is a structure. Whole day we fought. On last Thursday, then we came back. Then call came from Arvinder. Again they are calling us on Saturday to discuss the pay scales. Always I used to go in the morning flight. I used to time it in such a way that Arvinder lands, Sudarshan lands, all three of us go in a car. In the car we used to discuss, pump in more information. And told Mr. Arvinder, sir, we have to break this thing, we have to go beyond 2%. And I also conveyed to him, any point of time, any scales, any stage, officers should not get vis-a-vis our staff less in increment. We have found that at 3 stages, 3 increment stage, our staff increments are 5 rupees or 10 rupees more than officers increment. Then I told Mr. Arvinder, I told the officers organization, this cannot be accepted. If it is going to create an anomaly vis-a-vis our staff, let us convey to whether we are not going to sign the settlement. The negotiation started. We presented our scales. We said that is it that in 3 stages increments of our staff are more than the officers? They have not checked. We have checked it. They brought the scales. They said yes, 3 stages it is going to be more than officers, more than the our staff. Officers increment is less than our staff. Our staffs are getting more. Immediately Mr. Arvind said, sir, we will not sign the settlement. It is creating an anomaly. Again this 313 crores was conveyed to us. We will not cross these 300 crores. Arvind says a 2% load you have to make it to the basic pay. It is not negotiable. 597 crores you have mentioned is around 597 crores. You can breach these 597 crores. That can be done. IBF people went out of the negotiation room. Around 1:30, the chief executive of IBA came and said, your point is well taken. We are reworking the scales. We are reworking the scales. We will give you the scales after rationalizing the increment, other things. Then after they gave the scales, 313 crores was broken. The 2% loaded to basic pay NDA subject to MSF 314 crores was broken. In the end, they reconstructed the scales with a starting scale of 23,700 rupees. And the 313 crores has gone up by 340 crores. And both put to the basic pay NDA, it is around 517.30 crores for offices alone. For office alone, 517.30 crores. The load of 2% which was mentioned in MOU was broken, and we have loaded around 3.16% on basic pay and DA, amounting to 517 crores. This has given a respectable, I won't say best scales, a respectable scale, starting scale and end scale. And in the process, we ensure 2% is loaded from scale first stage to last stage. First stage is around 2.01%. It goes on in fourth stagnation point comes to 1.99%, only one stage. Again it goes up to 2.03, 2.04. End level it was 2.08%. We have not done anything, whereas they have made bigger scales for the top level. We said that we have rationalized the scale. This has given some sort of satisfaction that we could be able to convince the IPA and give us the good scale, pay scale. That is a starting point of discussion. Then they say that HRA. There are so many items came in WhatsApp. 2% for basic pay, 7% for HRA, 6% for CCA. And many of the executives started firing us. What is this settlement? I am going to get lesser amount. How come 7% can be loaded to HRA? IB also very keen to load 3%, not 7%, 3% on HRA. They gave the pay scales, distribution sheet. From 8.5% they hiked it to 11.5%. They said that we will not alter this. Then we took a position. At the time Sudarshan said, sir, you are tying your hands, you are tying your legs, you are asking us not to speak. With 2% you already hit us very badly. With HRA you are going to hit us again very badly. HRA amount is not negotiable. We are not going to increase even 0.05%. Your 11%, 11.5% has to come down. Immediately the chairman got wild and started walking. At the time I interviewed and conveyed to him, sir, last time it was one of the best settlement with second option for pension. With second option for pension. But still today people are carrying, there is dissatisfaction between the pension OP and PFOP in the form of arrears. So now if you are going to load 3% on HRA, there will be a dissatisfaction between HRA and non-HRA. Ultimately, though you are going to sign a settlement, it is going to carry ill feeling amongst us. Then I conveyed to him, sir, our understanding is 15% on pay slip, everybody should get uniform increase. If you want HRA, people can get little more than that. Already they are getting because of the merger of basic pay. The per capita increase per member has to be 15 or more. It cannot be 12% or 11% for non-HRA, 15% or more for person getting HRA. He got a point. He conveyed to IB officials, please discuss with them. Try to arrive at some sort of a solution. Then we came out, we discussed. Then they came down from 11.5% to 10%. Then CCA we wanted to give something. Last time CCA we have frozen it. This time they want to give something more to CCA. They have given some amount, 900 rupees initially they offered, then reduced to 870. Then all these things were over. We were now breaking our head how to reduce this HRA amount. Then came this allowance, special allowance. Comrade, it is only AABOC who demanded that whatever not loaded to basic pay should be given by your special allowance. We asked for grade allowance or a commercial banking allowance, but they gave us a special allowance, and that allowance should attract DA. People were laughing at us. How allowance can attract DA? Only basic pay will attract DA. Maybe professional qualification pay, FPP they frozen that DA component. Comrade, the IBA proposal was fixed quantum. They said that for JMG 1 it is 1,500 rupees. For scale 2 it was around 2,500 rupees. For scale 3, 2,500 rupees. Goes on increasing. And for scale 7 they gave 10,000 rupees. They said you have to take in the form of fixed quantum. We said that we will not accept this. We talked to the chairman of the negotiating committee. He said, okay, I will give my mind. You take it by way of percentage. They offered 6% initially. We said 6% is too low. Then we negotiated. They came up to 7%. They gave a cost sheet working with 7%. We said 7% is also too low. We demanded uniform percentage for scale 1 to scale 7. They said no, there has to be difference. Then we argued. Then they came up to 7.5% and we got stuck at 7.5% for more than 1 day. Then we discussed 7.5% is too low. We must improve it at least to 8%. Our target is 8%. It will give some sort of elbow room for officers to get something more than what they are getting now. Then how to get this 8%? We started again recalculating everything, and I conveyed to Mr. Arvinder and Sudarshan, let us take it from HRA, some portion. 0.5% increase, not 0.25% increase on other allowances for scale 1 to scale 3 is going to cost 39.02 crores. Let us take it from HRA and increase it. If they want, let us increase it to another 0.5%, that is 0.75 to 0.8%. We need another 19 crores. IBA said that no, we don't tamper it. Chairman agreed for 3% load. You have come down to 1.5 and that has been again reduced to 9.25. Further reduction is not possible. He said that we cannot accept 7.5%. You have to give at least something more. Then finally they agreed. Around 5:30 the whole day we were negotiating. Around 5:30 before we left IB office. Okay, 7.75 we will give. They agreed for 7.75, which attracts GA. Whereas they have given 1,500, 2,500, 3,500. From that, we said that this allowance has to go up every year whenever they get the increment. Whenever DA goes up, this allowance also has to go up. And we have succeeded in it. It is only one and only IBOC who made it as an allowance when people are laughing at it when you put this demand. 2 years back I told Franco, we have to get, they are going to be very fussy about loading to basic pay. We have to get in the form of allowance which should attract DA. And many negotiating committee meetings I used to insist that we should get only as an allowance that should attract DA. With that, comrade, we started discussing about other issues. The medical insurance scheme. We are against this medical policy. In fact, almost all of us, including Arvinder, Sudarshan, were opposed to this medical insurance policy. As rightly said by, I don't know, Arvinder or Manimaran. They were discussing more on medical insurance policy. You won't believe, comrade, IBO gave 75 suggestions for improvement in the present medical policy. 75 suggestions. We gave in the form letter, we collected the suggestions from all the affiliates. Against each and every category, we tried to improve upon it. And we gave it to UB convener, who also gave suggestions. And finally, when the draft policy came, IBO was not satisfied. And I was not satisfied with that policy. I will tell you only one example. The policy says all these bed charges, room charges is 5,000 rupees, ICU charges is 7,500 rupees, ventilator charges we have included, many charges they have mentioned. Finally, there is a one word in the policy. All the charges will be reimbursed if it is medically necessary for the treatment. I asked Mr. Dastur, is the person who is dealing with the insurance company, how can you say medically necessary? If I go to hospital, doctors will take all and sundry X-rays, ECGs. I quoted my own case. I suffered a fracture. They took angiogram. For a fracture, they took angiogram. They said, no, you are subjected to the surgery. We want to know how strong is your heart to face this anesthetic effect. They took a whole body scan. I asked him, sir, take a scan only for my foot. We are taking. No, it is required, necessary. I told him. My bank has reimbursed. All banks are reimbursed. Then he looked at me, what suggestion you are going to make? I said, remove medically necessary, the word. Add incur during hospitalization. He said, no, IRDA will not accept if you have to add incur during hospitalization. He closed his eyes. I thought he was going to meditate. After 2 minutes he opened his eyes. Okay. I add this. Medically necessary is a word given by IRDA and or, it is appearing in that policy, medical policy, and or incur during hospitalization as per the advice of the attending doctor. Is it okay? I said okay. You include that. Domiciliary treatment. Please go through the domiciliary treatment which we have improved. All and sundries are there. Asthma is there, hypertension is there, blood pressure is there, bronchitis is there. Asthma and bronchitis are one and the same. Almost all the disease, it running into almost half a page. And finally they have mentioned domiciliary treatment or hospitalization, a certificate should be issued by the hospital approved by IRDA. I said, sir, don't give this hospital and all. Don't ask us to run behind hospital. And he said that as per the prescription given by the specialist doctor. I told him, for asthma, I don't want to go to pulmonologist. Why should I go to pulmonologist? For hypertension, I need not go to a cardiologist. For diabetic, general physician can treat diabetics. Then he asked, what do you want? No, you remove the word specialist. No, specialist, the word is as per IRDA guidelines. If I do it, then they will think that I am surrendering everything to bankman. Then I asked him what you are going to write. I said, sir, after the word specialist and or as per the advice of the attending doctor, the prescription, as per the advice of the attending doctor or bank medical officer. You add this, sir, we are very happy. Like that, many improvement we have seen. Please go through medical insurance scheme. And finally, the limit 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs is a limit. We took a position with IBM. Whatever hitherto incurred has to be reimbursement as per the insurance policy. If you take an insurance policy for 2 lakhs, there is a condition in the insurance policy that 1% of the sum should be paid for as a room rent. That means you get only 2,000 rupees. I said this 1% clause should go. Room rent you decide. 5,000. Don't put a condition that if it is 4,000, 1% means 4,000. 4 lakh, 1% means 4,000. He said remove that condition. Like that all these things have been removed. They said that this policy will not be, expenses will not be reimbursed in a war-like situation. Terrorist inflicted areas. I said my branches are open in pan-India. There are branches in Naxalite prone areas, insurgent area in northeast, Maoist inflicted areas. If something happens to a member, you will not reimburse. Remove this clause. Like that, many clauses have been removed. I was trying to include dental, but they are very fussy about including dental. There is a word that if any surgery, dental surgery done at clinic is excluded. If it is done in the hospital, it is included. We have to interpret like that. So like that we have done so much thing. Finally, IBS agreed. Anything more than this, we need not run behind the TPS. We have to submit the bill as it is done to the hospital, to the respective branches. Branches will reimburse as per the rates given by insurance policy. And they will claim reinsurance amount from the insurance company. And we will not be bothered about thing. And one best point is that this policy is extended to serving officer and also to retired officials, retired officers. Don't care. It was given, the bank will work out the contribution to the insurance company for retired officers. When a final joint note came, they said that the amount of premium has to be paid by the retirees. We asked him, so it is, all of a sudden you have changed it. No, all banks have got welfare fund. From welfare fund, banks are paying 1,50,000 lifetime. And some banks have taken insurance policy. The Corporation Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, I think Canara Bank also has got insurance policy. They have paid premium of 4,000 or 4,200. Like that they will pay. It is only a safety precautions we are given, but we will ensure that all the retirees are covered. All the retiring officials and all the retired also will be covered. The premium they also quoted is frozen for 3 years. They cannot increase the premium. Plus one more clause they have included. For a critical illness like cancer, leukemia, bypass or open heart surgery, lung diseases, not lung diseases, liver diseases, chronic liver diseases, and 4-5 diseases, 7-8 diseases they mentioned. If anybody is suffering with that disease, insurance company will release 1 lakh rupees immediately as a solace. They specifically mentioned it will be paid only to the employee. I asked Mr. Dastur, why cannot be extended to the dependents also? He said that no, the employee, once he gets this disease, family will be shattered. They don't know what to do with it. Just to support the family we are giving them, it is over and above the medical reimbursement what we are going to give in the form of insurance. This has to be given only to the employee who suffers with a chronic critical illness. They also mentioned 100 crores buffer. Beyond 4 lakhs it will be paid from the 100 crore buffer. Beyond buffer, as we have understood, as per the clause which Mr. Manivaran read, will be paid by the bank. We have to submit the bill to the bank, bank will pay. Please go through. Still it is not over, some more discussion will take place. We will try to fine tune it. We have taken care that the scheme should be one of the best scheme. This is one of the things which they have introduced. Likewise, there is many other things, transfer allowance they have increased. They increased from 9,000 to 15,000. We asked for 20,000. IBA said, no, what for you are paying for packing and thing? IBA will take care of packing of items of officers. I said, you know how many orders are issued? Can IBA go to the doorstep of every officer do packing? That will be more than the amount which are demanded. You pay 20,000 rupees. They said that 20,000 rupees will not pay, we will pay 15,000 rupees. That case, medical aid has been increased from 5,100 rupees to 8,000 from scale 1 to scale 3. Then paternity leave has been introduced. First time. For 2 children, 15 days as per the government guideline. We asked IBA, we asked as leaders, is it prospective or retrospective? Because we wanted to avail that paternity leave today. They laughed at us. Likewise, PL accumulation. We have quoted mandatory leave of 10 days is being debited to our account, PL account. Why should I lose my PL? Why don't you have a special leave? Mandatory you give us a special leave every year. People will be happy to take. If you debit the PL account, people may not be happy to debit their PL account. They said that it is not possible. We will increase the privilege accumulation to 270 days. With restriction to encashment will be up to 240 days. Okay, we said we agree on that. For adoptive child, the facility it is being given as 2 months leave. That has been increased to 6 months within the overall the paternity leave of 12 months. Likewise, hysterectomy operation facility are paying, giving 45 days. We have increased to 60 days. Likewise, hill and fuel allowance, deputation allowance, bid academic transfer allowance, and so many other allowances which I have listed out. Probably you will see it. Professional qualification allowance, all those allowances were increased it. Following a uniform practice, the existing allowance plus 60.15% merger of DA plus 2% load, which has been increased almost all the allowances. And Whatever allowances I said, except professional qualification, pay and FPP, all the other allowances which we have discussed, which has been accepted by IBA is outside 15% pay slip. If you go through in totality, comrades, we have done better. In fact, people started calculating arrears. All of you might have calculated arrears, notional arrears at least. How much increases you are going to get. I don't have the calculation, but comrade, it will be substantial from scale 1 to scale 7. Probably scale 1 officers will be getting gross arrears of a minimum of 1,20,000 rupees. Like that it goes on increasing. With 2 days holidays, which is going to come, probably they say that before the end of the June, we are trying to get it implemented in the month of June, failing which during the month of June, otherwise from July, things will come. With 2 days holidays, with our own constituent of UAB, we are willing to sign at lesser percentage. Increasing a percentage to 15% with quite a lot of improvement in other allowances, which is outside the pay slip component, probably comrades, we have done fairly a decent job as far as his salary revision is concerned. And we also taken up with regard to the embargo which has been put, a person who has been offered promotion, and after getting the promotion, if he is not able to accept because of various reasons, presently there is an embargo that he will not be allowed to get stagnation treatment, PKP, and automatic movement. We discussed in detail, and IBA has agreed to send a communication as a sort of advisory communication to all the banks. If a person refused to accept the promotion and appears in the promotion process next time, and if he is not successful, all these 3 benefits will be released, and to that extent they will be sending a communication. Presently, unless he gets a promotion, he will not be entitled to get these 3 benefits. Now they are going to send a communication that these benefits will be released once he appears for the promotion process, and if he is found unsuccessful, then from the next year onwards, all these 3 benefits will be released. This is also one of the improvement. Likewise, from vigilance angle also, 2-3 important issues we have discussed. They said that they will send an advisory communication. But then came for the retirees issue. We have taken up with all seriousness with regard to the NPS to be converted as from the contributory pension scheme to defined pension scheme, defined benefit scheme. IBA has not accepted. They said that you have signed a settlement. In lieu of second option, you have signed a settlement. He said, sir, that is all over. What you are going to do with the funds? Today we may say no. Maybe after 5 years, take it from us that the funds is going to be enormous. With the contribution done by this new entrant, with both the funds put together, you have to give defined benefit scheme to all. We have only postponed this benefit from this year, probably 2017 settlement. We again revisit and try to get it. And as Manivalan rightly said, if need to, we have to take a call to join the other striking organizations so that we can try to expedite these things. Again, with regard to retirees, we are not able to do headway. We were discussing many forums, many meetings, many negotiating meetings. It will be ended up with retirees, the superannuation benefit for retirees, that is pension updation, DA notification for those people who retired prior to 2001-2002, and family pension improvement. Corporate IBA has agreed initially that DA notification and family pension improvement will be given. They said that cost, we disputed the cost. They said, more or less, they said that this settlement will give these 2 benefits. But finally, we don't know what has happened. In between the cup and the lip, they have gone back on that. We said that we will not accept. We made a strong protest. AABC made a strong protest that we have to settle these 3 issues first. And with regard to updation, IBA said that the cost is huge. I asked him, what is the cost you have projected? They said that 76,000 crores if you have to update 2,94,000 pensioners and the family pensioners. I said, how can be 76,000 crores? I have worked out the calculation. To update 2,94,000 pensioners, it is going to cost to the banks around 2,020 crores. Only 2,020 crores. Whereas you are telling 76,000 crores. I gave a calculation. Assuming for a moment 76,000 crores is the cost, every pensioner will be getting 40 lakhs as pension. Is it possible for you to pay 40 lakhs as a pension? Then we asked him, where from you got this 76,000? He said that we have got the working. If you got the working, why don't you share it to us? My cost is 2,020 crores, your cost is 76,000 crores. There is no meeting point. Please show us your calculation. They said, no, it is only a calculation which is not perfect. Anyhow, we will go through the calculation again. I said, sir, you have to decide about the updation without any calculation you are going to decide, whereas I am coming out with a calculation. IBOC is coming out with a calculation. If you are going to come out with the calculation, you accept our calculation or discuss our calculation and give us. No, updation is not there in the regulation. How can we update? We said, sir, regulation 35 provides updation. And they did updation for the two settlements. Pre-1986 retirees. No, that is only for those two settlements. Then why you are keeping regulation 35 still in the pension regulation? It is a good of corporate board bole, doing of trade union movement to include pension updation in the pension regulation as regulation 35. Until today regulation 35 operates. It says that wherever salary is increased, wherever applicable, pension has to be updated. These are wordings in the regulation. They are keeping mum, they are keeping silent. Then we said that we want to include in joint note. He said, no, joint note we cannot include. Then what you will do? No, we will prepare a record note. In that record note, we will include all those issues. Then gave a record note previous day of the settlement. They committed a lot of mistakes here and there. Finally, all the parties, IBA and the negotiating unions, all 9 unions have signed the record note. Thereby keeping the issues of the pensioners alive. Maybe they have worded it differently, but ultimately, comrades, I am very confident with the support of everybody, we will get these issues also resolved. Maybe the ego of IBA that they don't want to give along with the salary settlement. For a simple reason that we have said that we will discuss only the salary increase, not about superannuation cost. They took a plea that we will resolve it subsequently. In fact, Comrade Arvind and Comrade Sudarshan, we have discussed and decided that we have to agitate. Still we have not got the regulated working hours through. We have not got the regulated working hours, though we have demanded regulated working hours. You define the working hours. IBA said that we will send a communication that officers will not be asked to come and work on Sundays and holidays. He said you send the communication. Also we demanded, we also send a communication, if you have been asked to come and work, you have to pay compensation equal to day salary. No, compensation we cannot suggest. We said that we are very serious about regulated working hours. In as much as we are serious about 5 days banking, which is going to come in some form, we want regulated working hours also has to be addressed to in this settlement. It has not been addressed to. Probably, comrade, we have to agitate on these regulated working hours. We have to agitate on pension-related issues for retirees. We also to agitate about inclusion of NPS, people who are under NPS, new pension scheme, to come into defined benefit scheme. Plus all other issues which Mr. Franco was conveyed, we have to agitate. Probably we have to go on some sort of agitation, not immediately, after some time, after getting the arrears. So that we will be safe and move on, because it is a trade union philosophy that we have to always keep our guns ready. In case of necessity, we have to shoot. This is as far as the settlement is concerned, comrade. They were telling that we will negotiate only up to scale 3, scale 1, 2, 3. We have negotiated up to scale 7. We have negotiated up to scale 7. We have not given undue increase to any stage. uniform increase has been given up to scale 7. They said that they will introduce cost to company. We said that we will not allow introduction of cost to company. They said they will introduce fixed pay, variable pay. We said we will not accept fixed pay, variable pay. All these things are the positive side of the settlement. And one thing I forgot is stagnation increment. Stagnation increment for scale 4 first time we introduced. IBA chairman, negotiation committee chairman said we will not introduce stagnation for scale 4. Then we said, why don't you give us automatic movement from scale 3 to scale 4? No, how you can go up to scale 4? A scale 3 man cannot go up to scale 4. This is senior management. Then we asked for stagnation increment, additional stagnation increment in scale 3, that is 5th stagnation increment, and one more stagnation for scale 2, that is 4th stagnation increment, and we wanted that the last stagnation which has been given should be given after completion of 2 years from the receipt of last stagnation increment. The 5th and 4th stagnation in scale 3 and scale 2 to be given. IBS accepted. For scale 4, one stagnation increment we demanded they have given. The effect is covered. Scale 3 you are stagnated, they will be reaching last but one stage of scale 4. Indirectly automatic movement up to scale 4 we ensure. This is all the positive side of the settlement. Comrade, if you ask me whether we are happy about the 15%, whether we are happy about the settlement, under the given circumstances, if people are happy about 8%, people are happy about 8.5%, 9%, 10%, 12%, probably comrades, 15% is good. Please calculate your arrears. Probably IBOC will come out. State Bank of India already has given some chart. Calculate your new scales, calculate your arrears, and after calculating arrears, comrade, you will be feeling, I won't say very happy, you will be feeling at least reasonably happy that we have done reasonably well. Again, comrade, I will end with an I note that if at all we got 15%, if at all we are going to get 2 days holidays, if at all, and the other relevance with DA, the credit should go to all of you because you were solidly behind the call of ABOC. Because of you, comrade, we could able to get the settlement, and probably, comrade, we will move on towards 17th settlement, towards the 11th bipartisan settlement, maybe in the year of, it falls due on 1/11/2017. One of the negotiating committee member, chairman of Union Bank, he said in a very lighter vein, yes, you wanted many issues. We could able to do justice to many issues. Still, you may feel that some of the issues not settled. Some of the issues need to be improved. Some of the issues have to be addressed to immediately. All these issues will be addressed in 11th bipartite. That is what he said in a nutshell. Probably, comrade, we have to keep moving on, move with our own way of getting things from this IBA. I have found only one thing from the IBA. Probably I may be wrong. Getting from IBA is much easier than getting from the own banks. I am telling you, it is a fact. Probably with little more effort from our part, we will try to improve upon. There are some more things which needs to be corrected. There are some anomalies which we feel that something is going to be created. The stagnation increment we wanted retrospective, they made us a prospective. We had 1 hour discussion with IBA people. They said that they will keep an open mind and talk to the chairman to try to get it retrospective, because we are of the firm opinion when you take the cost for stagnation increment, cost can be taken only if you have taken the cost, it has to be retrospective effect. If you have not taken the cost, it has to be prospective release. Having taken 7.65 crores as a cost of stagnation increment, you should keep from the retrospective effect. We hope that with the support of all of you, we will try to resolve or try to improve upon the settlement. Though it is signed, the anomalies can be rectified any time. We will try to get these anomalies rectified. 1 or 2 anomalies which is going to crop in. Probably we are yet to study yet to implement the settlement, and only if start implementing it, there will be some improvement can be done, which IB has solemnly assured. We will try to sort it out, whatever thing that has to be done within the framework of the settlement. If anything to be little cross, we will try to cross it. With these few words, comrades, thank you very much for coming in large numbers. A red salute to all. I feel that the way Mr. Manimaran said, the way Mr. Franco said, it is only AIBOC will come to the rescue of all the officers in the banking industry. It is we are going to decide. I also agree with Comrade Manimaran. It is going to be officers-oriented industry, maybe from now on. And the salary which has to be commensurate with the risk, responsible, accountability, transferability which officers are facing. Probably next bipartite joint note will be much improved than this bipartite joint note. Thank you, comrades. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Ananda Kumar. It's not just 15% alone, comrades. You should remember, every allowance has been improved. In LFC, encashment, that 75% is removed, so it is 100% encashment now. The family dependence income has been enhanced from 3,500 to 10,000. which is going to benefit a lot of people. For our State Bank comrades alone, I would like to tell you that we are not covered under this medical insurance scheme. We have said that our existing scheme should continue, and that has been agreed upon. So we will not be switching over to that. And some of the issues which were in the Charter of Demands were already settled outside the Charter of Demand also. For example, the housing loan. It got increased to 30 lakhs from IOB, then we pursued in State Bank, now it is 60 lakhs. Even in Chennai City, with 60 lakhs we are able to buy a very good, comfortable house. That has been already done. Similarly, the compassionate appointment, it has been already done, which was part of the Charter of Demand. Similarly, for the lady officers transfer, a guideline has been already issued which was part of the Charter of Demand. These all we should share with our members who raise issues, and as rightly pointed out by both the comrades, next executive committee we will take up this issue. As soon as the arrears are paid, we will start putting a demand for the updation of pension, family pension, revision of pension for those who have retired, and we will get ready for an agitation so that that is also achieved. So with this, now I request our State Secretary, Comrade Vijay Senan, to propose the vote of thanks and make also a very crucial announcement. Just another 5 minutes, I request the comrades to just listen to Comrade Vijay.
Good evening, comrades. First, I thank all of you for assembling in good number, in spite of the fact that at least in a major unit, State Bank of India people know that webcast is there. For us, we have sent the information only at 6 p.m. Friends, you have heard about what was, what is, what ought to be. What ought to be was most stressed by G.V. Manimaran. That is nothing but natural, because if as the thing stands today, he may be taking AIBOC, he may be taking over. Next settlement or what IBOC has to do is in his hands. My suggestion is that Scale 4 also should join the strike. Then only we will be able to succeed. Only with 1, 2, 3 we cannot succeed, because Scale 4 number has increased. That is one suggestion. Another announcement is, after 11 years, we are going to conduct our state conference on 19th July Nationalization Day. Venue is Kannada Sangha, Abibullah Road. Full day function. Kindly make it free on that day. Try to be for the full 10 to 5 program. We will try to make it interesting with a lot of discussions and good speakers, etc. Then friends, I thank Ethoj College Management and IOB Web Branch Manager Asina Madam and his officers and staff who are very helpful for us, and also I thank my colleagues in IOBOA, especially Comrade Sambat Kumar, AGS of our Chennai region, who are all very cooperative to make this, organizing this function practically in less than 48 hours. In the Sunday night, Comrade Franco said that there was a IOB meeting today. He said that cancel that and make it as IBOC meeting. So it helped our union to conduct a meeting in the IOB canteen also. They also are thankful. And within that next day only we could do it, and within that 48 hours if I could do it, it is because of that web branch staff members. I am thankful to that. I am thankful to our regular photographer Manoj and webcast gentlemen. Definitely it will be available for some time, no sir? It will be available for some time? Webcast will be available for some time in the we will try to make it in the link available for some time so that people can watch it, because there will be any doubts they are having, they will be getting cleared. Thank you friends for attending in reasonably good number. Now the word present circumstances, given circumstances is the key words for the present settlement. This is what I concluded with every circular and every talks. Thank you friends, thank you very much. Let us march on to 19th July State Conference. Thank you, thank you. Comrades, few minutes for national anthem.